touch anything.
It's the greatest find yet. Nothing compares to it.
But it's definitely something you should hear.
This is The Real Deal with Larry Lawton.
Welcome to The Real Deal with me, Larry Lawton, and Nick, my producer and sidekick, is on the show today. And we are going to have a great show because we're going to be talking about young issues and trending stuff. I was reading a poll by Harvard that came out in March of this year. It was like, and they interviewed over 2,000 millennials, I guess they are, Gen Z. No, the Gen Z from age 18 to 29, Nick, and you're right in the heart of that. So we're going to be talking about what the poll shows.
I'm balls deep in it. Yeah.
You are balls deep in this trend, in this poll, and we're going to go over some of the numbers, and we're going to wonder why. I don't get it, but I'm going to number why. A couple of things I'd like to do. First of all, thank all of our sponsors. Oliva sponsor, mybookie.ag. Go check them out. Mybookie.ag. They just use promo code Lawton, and you will get a 50% match. Oliva Cigars are my partner with the Crooked Diamond. Yes, the Crooked Diamond is here, and it is going strong, and it is Christmas time. So we are coming up with a whole plan for Christmas.
The lighters are almost here.
The lighters will be here in 7 days. I am so excited. They are these kind of lighters.
I get my own I can play with now.
Yeah, you don't even smoke cigars. But maybe dabs. But anyway, he's going to be...
I had a vivid dream during my little nap today that I broke one of those bottles again.
Oh, you mean the dab bottles?
One of those bottles, yeah. And I was like, no.
Wow. This is what our young people are doing, folks. Just think what I just said. You're listening right here. You get latest updates from 26-year-olds right here.
And then one more thing. GTA 6 just released it.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer's coming out soon. If anyone wants Larry in a DLC, Diamond Heist mission, please hit up Rockstar Games on any of their social medias and ask them for it. Because I think that'd be a killer.
Would I be part of developing it?
I would. That's what I'd hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, they have heists on those things that I review and stuff, and there's so much I can do on those heists that would be making so much
I was
better.
even thinking a cool part at the end of the heist would be going to get a fence before the heist.
Well,
you could choose from 6 fences and only one of them's correct, and all the other ones are either going to steal your money or kill you or set you up for something bad.
Yeah, or turn you in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of variations that we can do. Cops that can be bought, people in jewelry stores, concierges in hotels that you could buy. They find out if Kim Kardashian's in town, and that's how she got robbed. But yeah, there's a lot of don't get me on this road.
Oh yeah, they ping you that some local celebrities hey.
Oh yeah, that's done all
103.
Listen, that was done all the time in Vegas. It still is done actually. So Rockstar, and listen, I'm no gamer. I'm not professing to be a gamer, but I'm going to learn, and we're going to come out with our own server, and we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you, Discord. Discord has been hot on this stuff as well, and thank you, Discord. I'm going to go on. I want to go on. I want to go live. I don't know which day. I totally got to do that, especially before the wedding. I am going away the weekend tonight. Matter of fact, I'm leaving. Today's Friday, right, for the show to air, and I'm leaving after this. Well, after this airs, pretty much. And
you were confusing me. I was like, what?
Yeah, no. What we're doing, Nick is too. Nick's going to be filming some. We have a video coming out you guys are going to love. It's the old maximum security kind of series is coming back. And I robbed something very interesting, and we were filming it the other day. And I think people are going to really like that episode.
Yeah. We might have to do some reshoots here and there.
Well, we're going to do some stuff.
I want to make it really good, so...
Well, we're going to do
just
so.
Bear with me if we have a reshoot or two to.
I will bear with you. I might blow up once or twice instead of 4 or 5 times. You know what we're going to do? Where's that, my Morty? So what we're going to do is we're going to film it, and we're going to do some B-roll maybe at some of the functions I'm going to this week. See if they'll agree to that. Hey, and Tuesday's episode. We have a great guest. We have a person from Ireland coming here, and he's really an interesting character, and you guys are going to check that out. So I think that's going to be fun. I am going to open your eyes today. I love this kind of show. This is Nick and I'm going to open your eyes, and it's going to be about, I'm going to say, do we think, and I want you guys to answer, it's going to be in a poll in the show. Are the kids today, I want to really put up 2 polls, Nick, if we can do that.
Yeah, you can.
I want to see.
And a video on Spotify, guys, just a really quick. Now you can watch our videos on Spotify.
Yeah, actually,
cool.
yeah, we figured that out. They've come up where we put out actual videos on Spotify. We'd like them to go to YouTube, but that's okay. It's the Real Deal podcast on YouTube, but also Real Deal with Larry Lawton. It's called the Real Deal with Larry Lawton podcast. It's also, like I said, on all major platforms, and Spotify has a video for it, which thank you, Spotify. Now, Nick, we're going to get into this stuff. Now, you know me, I fall down rabbit holes. And once I get down that rabbit hole, I'm kind of tough to get out of it. You know, I mean, maybe I just, my brain is so focused. I'm so ADD that if I don't focus, I need Adderall. Do you think I need Adderall? Can you stop banging? I'd really appreciate that. If
They never knew I was.
Oh,
But
yes,
thanks for
they
calling
did.
me out.
Oh, yes,
No,
they
they
did.
didn't.
They knew. What were you going to try to edit that? Yeah, okay, Nick. Anyway, listen, the poll was 18 to 29-year-olds, and
What are
listen
these
to this.
polls?
No,
Yeah. I want to know these polls. You've been hiding these polls from me.
well, no, I'm not hiding them at all. What I'm doing is showing you something that is
So I'm just corrupting them a little over here.
absolutely not, man. Listen, I'm a numbers guy. I believe in numbers. An old bookie in me. Listen to this. President Biden's approval rating stands at 36%, a drop of 3% points since last fall, 39%, and 5 percentage points since last spring, 41%. This is from 18 to 29, not any of me or any of my crew. The poll also finds that nearly half of young Americans, 48%, have felt unsafe in the past month. Think of that. With 40% worried about falling victim to gun violence, trust in the Supreme Court to do the right thing has fallen by 10 percentage points over the last decade, while less than half of young Americans feel like their local police departments make them safer. Nearly half, 47% of Americans under the age of 30.
Are you just going through all the polls right
No,
now?
I'm just going to first paragraph. 30 report feeling down, depressed, or hopeless, and 24% have considered self-harm at least several times in the last 2 weeks.
How the fuck do they know that?
Well, it's a survey. This is how they do it. They take polls, Nick. Well, let me explain. Okay, if young people don't know what a poll is, because
I know what a
apparently
poll is.
Nick
Okay,
doesn't,
I know what a poll is.
they have specific
I
questions
just
they
didn't know
ask.
that cutting yourself was a poll that people are asking.
They can make a poll on anything, Nick. We do it. You get enough of people who reply to a poll, you have statistical data. That's how
I
the
know
data
about
was
the
done.
analytics.
Analytics, it's called, not analytics. So, Nick, have you felt, where are you on all of those things I just said? Do you want me to go over them with you? Or because since you forgot it already, your ADD has messed your head up. You all right today?
Yeah.
You know, it's a long day. Where is your personal approval rating of President Biden?
Me?
Yeah.
He hasn't
Yeah,
made
that's
fun
all you
of
now.
anyone's wife yet, so he seems pretty boring. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think you should sound that
I
stupid.
I don't know. I think he's too old. That's my opinion on everyone who's running. I just think everyone's too old.
So, but is his approval rating? What is his approval rating? That's what I'm asking you. Like,
How would I
do you
know? I
think
don't
he's
run
doing a
these
good
polls.
job or a bad job?
No, I don't think he's doing a good job. I don't know. I don't see him anywhere. I don't think he barely leaves the house.
Okay, so you don't follow politics at all, obviously.
No.
And do you even know, what you care a president could do and what it does, or are you totally out of this part of the topic?
I don't think the president has all the power, like in a lot of things.
Well, he doesn't. Obviously, they have 3 branches of government.
Exactly, so-
Can you name the 3 branches of government?
No.
I'm not going to make you look bad, though.
Yeah,
don't worry.
you are though. So
Okay.
let's just go that way. I don't care, but that's what you are doing.
Okay, can I?
Are you talking about like Republicans and
No,
that
no.
branch?
3
No.
branches of our government. Your friend, what's his Peso? Peso?
Yeah, Joseph.
Joseph, my friend, I like Joseph. He's now a U.S. citizen, and he knows.
Yeah.
And he knows. Congratulations.
It took him long enough.
Peso?
Yeah.
You call him Peso?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Peso, for becoming an American citizen, and good for you. And I guarantee he knows these answers.
He did that all by himself.
And you know what it is, Nick? He has to know these answers to get his citizenship. So you got lucky. You were born here.
God damn it.
The
What's the first one? And maybe I'll get the other two.
the three branches of
What's
government.
the first one?
Okay, the first. Well, there's all
Not,
three.
give me
the
one.
legislative branch.
Oh, no. I'm good on all that.
You know it.
No.
Oh, it's the legislative branch, which is Congress. It's the voting. It's
Yeah.
all the elected officials. That's the legislative. They make laws and then they vote on them. Then you have the judicial, which is the court system, the judges and stuff of that nature. And then you have the executive branch, which is the president of the United States. So you have the judicial, legislative, and executive branches of government. That's the balance of power, Nick. That is why our form of government really should work, because no one branch is more powerful than the other. Now, obviously, strong personalities in all the branches and stuff change that, if you want to call it that. So I'm not going to give a history lesson on that. I wanted to know what you think. And I almost want to do an informal poll with my audience. How much do they know of this? Are you the norm, or are you an anomaly? You know, are you the one? Are you an outlier, or are you the norm? Listen, you always come up with good stuff. Listen. You are a genius with YouTube. You know when YouTube was formed, what YouTubers, when they hit, when they didn't do. You know so much about that. I don't even look it up anymore. I used to look it up to see if he was lying. Like Atwood, or what is it, whatever it is. Any one of them. And he tells me, oh, he came out in whatever year, and he does this, and but he got spanned, and he got...
There's a little spectrum in my brain that can just pull things out like that.
It is. And it's like, well, no, it's not even funny, because as kids, like when I was younger, we could pull statistics of baseball players out.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. So I'm going to pass that on you, on actually that one. Neil,
Do I think Biden's doing a good job? I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Okay, you have no answer, really.
I don't know.
Okay.
I agree that he's Sleepy Joe, and I hear him talk, and I feel bad for the guy.
What would make you vote for a president? Or what is it in a president's quality, or any candidate for
shorter
any
lines, and I'll get involved. I don't want to wake up at 6 a.m. and stand in a line for 3 hours.
But you know, Nick,
I know
that
I
scares
sound
me.
fucking stupid.
No, you don't sound
but
stupid. You sound
I don't
ignorant.
care.
No.
Give me a phone app, and I'll do that.
But listen
then
to-
again, that doesn't sound safe. You know.
Let me explain what
But neither do these ballots. I don't know.
You were so different than when I was younger, because I was into politics. I was a young Republican and saluting the flag and everything else, but I was in the military. But Nick, what I don't want you on that line. If you're uneducated, who are you voting for? You have to be educated about the people you're
Why do you think I'm not going to go do that?
Well, you told me it's because of lines, like, voting lines. If the lines were short, you'd go in and vote. So you'd really screw the place up.
If they all made, start talking about each other's wives smelling like dogs and
Oh, so he's
wanna see a
referring
good
to the
fight.
goat of all debaters.
maybe if they
Donald
all
Trump.
had a boxing match beforehand.
Nick, are you just doing this to piss the audience off?
I just
Because
don't
I'm
know.
dying to see what they say.
I
And I want you guys to be out there.
care
Do you
enough.
do you
I
think
don't
Nick
care
is being
enough.
an ass, or just being funny, or do you think he's like you are out there? And that's okay, whatever you guys say.
I just don't
He's a
care
very
enough.
intelligent young man, but he's
don't care
playing
enough.
ignorant right now.
I don't care enough, and that's the final answer. I don't care.
So if you here's just a question, since we're having a debate, if you want to call it. I'm a debater. I want to debate the goat.
Yeah.
The
You can't. You will lose.
wrong question.
Wrong.
Nick, if you don't vote and you don't know about these people, how do you have an opinion to change things? You want certain things, don't you?
understand
Don't you want certain things? Pot legal or
that
whatever.
doesn't
it is.
affect me. No.
It does not affect you.
They'll do that if they want to do that.
Nick, if you get arrested for pot,
Okay.
let's say it's illegal in a state like Florida. It's
All right.
illegal for you to smoke pot. You get arrested.
But I'm not worried about that. So why do I have to think about that? I'm not worried about that.
What about the person who does get arrested? Should he be worried? I mean, he didn't worry about it either. I mean, I'm not worried about it either.
I don't know.
But it's not about worrying about it. It's about living in a country that you can walk around freely and feel safe to do something.
Why is pot still a thing? Like, why is
I
that
agree.
still... I mean, it barely is.
I
so
agree.
We'll get there.
I
We're already
agree.
working on mushrooms and
Well,
everything.
did you
so-
know as of today, which is Wednesday, we're taping this, New Jersey, Ohio became the 23rd state to legalize marijuana, fully legalize recreational.
We're almost there.
Yeah, well, how many states we have?
50?
50. You'll get there. I know you'll know that number somewhere.
I knew it was 50.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's get to the next question.
I'll be
for you.
serious from here on
Okay,
out.
you going to be serious?
Yeah.
Okay. The poll finds that nearly half of young Americans, 48%, have felt unsafe in the past month, with 40% worried
I can
about
see
falling
that
victim
one.
to gun violence.
I see that one because of all the whole Hamas and everything going on.
This poll was actually before Hamas. This was in March.
Okay.
So it's not. It doesn't take that into account.
Well, what happened in March? You know,
Nothing that's not world changing. I guess would be on the news every day.
a school shooting could have happened. I don't know.
What I'm getting at, out of these 2,000 people, 40%, almost
There
half.
are some places we go where I even talked to you about where I was like, an active shooter could literally just come right here.
You do that. You do that.
So maybe I'm in that one too. Cause
so if they gave you that, you'd say, I do feel unsafe. And what? Okay, if you feel unsafe, how do you change that?
don't know.
Wouldn't you like to try to, like, if somebody came and answered and found out, hey, listen, I'm a politician and my name is Larry Lawton and I'm voting for you, help your rights to feel safer today. And I am going to make sure there's no guns on the streets or there's whatever.
That's not how you do it for me. No.
Okay, how do you do it?
I don't know.
Okay, I knew this would be a tough
I don't know.
podcast. Okay.
How would I fix a gun problem? Nobody can fix that. How am I supposed to? I don't know.
Nick.
How am I supposed to fix a gun problem?
Nick, it's not about fixing a gun. Somebody has to. If you feel unsafe, do you think it's right for 50% of all young people to feel unsafe? I mean, why would you feel unsafe? Like, I didn't.
Do I think that people should get their guns taken away? No way. No.
Okay. So you believe in the Second Amendment.
Yeah, I believe that you should carry a gun if you're scared of somebody else having a gun, for sure.
And, okay, that's a good question. And do you think you should be held accountable if you, obviously, you pull it, you do something? Should you be allowed to go into school with it?
If you're
should you go in
holding
a bar
gun,
with
you
it?
should know when you can and can't pull
Should
your
you
gun.
go in a bar
you know?
with it? I mean.
Maybe. I don't know.
Wow, your opinions are very little. Okay, that's good. Let the people know.
What should I say?
I want to know what makes you feel unsafe.
Like, sure, go into a bar with your gun, but then what? Then you can get a DUI for carrying a gun. You can go on to that.
How
route.
about getting drunk and making a bad choice? And
That's what I
somebody?
just said. You can do that, but then you can make a whole law of you can if.
You want more laws? You're one of those guys.
You can get breathalyzed if you're in a bar drinking with a gun, and it can count as the same as like a DUI.
Oh, now you want cops to walk into a bar and be able to breathalyze people?
No.
Then how would they do that?
The same they would fucking pull someone over and breathalyze them. I don't know.
I mean, Nick, you have to
Don't people go into bars with guns already? I don't know why this
You're
is.
not allowed to. If you do, you can get arrested. You can lose your license and get arrested.
Well,
most
take
states
their
are like
license. I don't know.
Well, how would you? You have no clue on how to feel safer? If you said you felt unsafe in certain
I could
places.
carry a gun, but that does. I don't.
What would
care
make
that
you feel
much.
safe? What would make more cops in an area? Army standing on every corner.
Oh,
what
no.
would make you feel
that's some
safe?
Video game shit.
So what?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know.
Why? How would I know?
Okay. Because
You're making me feel like you're making me look stupid because I don't know how to fix a gun problem.
Nick, I didn't ask you to fix a gun problem. I'm asking you to tell us or politicians or somebody how you can feel safer. Whatever your opinion is. I feel unsafe because why? That's all I'm asking you. Why do you feel unsafe?
I don't. But sometimes you can go into an area where like, maybe there's active shooters everywhere. Maybe one time. It's not like
is
I'm
it
actively,
because the venue is open
it's
to?
not because I'm actively like thinking about it. No.
Well, if
I
you
don't
said you
actively
feel
think
safe,
about it.
when you go to venues, you have to say, well, because I would worry about if a lot of kids, if 50% of the kids, like they say, feel safe because they're in a stadium that's open and they feel like they could be a victim of a mass shooter. Correct? All right. I hope this is going off. Oh, we don't want to stop the show, do we?
No.
Okay. Next, Nick.
Yeah, let's move on because I don't think they want to hear my exactly where we were. To feel that way. So
I don't know what at this point. Less than half of young Americans feel like their local police department makes them safer. Just a little less than half. So 47% feel that their local police department makes them safer. That's under 50%. So over 50% think they're not safer with the police. How do you feel?
I don't want cops pulling me over. I get an eerie feeling.
That's not a safer.
I don't know.
Wow, it's pulling teeth, people. I get it.
What do
I
you want
will
me to
get
say
someone.
about
I'll
these
stop
polls,
this. I'm
dude?
trying to get answers out of a young man. When you ask a question of, as a police officer, as a police department, 50%, over 50%
What do
feel.
you think? How do you feel about the cops?
Is that how I feel about this? I feel safe if the cops are around.
Okay.
I don't feel like they're going to come in.
I don't think a cop's good. Actually, I don't know.
So you don't have an opinion?
I think the cops are here to ticket me more than they are to.
Okay.
Like, actually.
If you get robbed, you call 411 or 911.
Haven't yet, so.
Okay. If you
I'm gonna
did,
call
what would you do?
the cops, yeah.
Or 911.
But do I think in general they're here to just ticket me? For sure. Yeah. I think they're patrolling around.
Man,
to
you
collect
have
money.
a very narrow view of everything that doesn't, I guess, affect
Really?
you.
How many times you looked me up? How many times have I gotten pulled over and ticketed? A lot.
Every
So that's
time.
how I
Okay,
feel
let me
about
ask you a
them.
question.
That's how I feel.
Have you
about
ever been pulled over wrongly, or were you going 100 miles an hour?
them.
Well, I'm not. You
speeding for sure.
Now, if you want to look at it this way,
I have actually. No, I have. I
Nick,
totally
you were
have. I'll tell you
unsafe to the
true-
community.
I'll tell you a true story. We pulled into a park to Papa Yui. We got pulled over. This was during the Michael Brown riots in St. Louis. We got pulled over instantly as soon as I popped a Yui. Pulls me over. I'm a messy kid in my car, and I have my friend in the front seat, a friend in the back seat, and the cop was like, all right, license, registration. Says, here you go. He's like, what's on the floor? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, what's on the floor? Show it to me. And it's paper. So I started kicking my papers. I started kicking them. He was like, well, pick them up. And I was like, no, I'm okay. And he was like, well, show me what's on the floor. And
you don't have to do that.
I know. I was terrified. And I was like, no. He goes, what is on the floor? So then I went to go reach down on the floor, and I instantly heard a fucking buckle. I've never known what a buckle sounded like. He unholstered his gun. I looked up. He was pointing his gun at me, screaming at me, going, did you know I could shoot you right now and nobody would say anything? I was like, shaking. I was like, well, I'm sorry, dude. I am sorry. And he started yelling at me about, you know what's going on right now? And I was like, yeah,
did
I
he
have
have
an
a body
idea.
camera?
No. This was back in the Michael Brown ride, so I don't know if that was a thing or not.
Right, they probably just were getting there and stuff of that nature.
I was terrified. So I was going to piss my pants. We had a bottle of alcohol in the car. Didn't open it yet.
Well, that it's legal. Were you 18 or 20?
I was
21?
No, I was like 17.
Was anybody in that car 21?
No, we had just stolen the bottle of alcohol. But that wasn't the reason for the pullover,
Right.
I had no idea that we had alcohol in the car. No.
Well, if they considered it a false stop or an illegal stop or illegal search and seizure, that's called fruits of it.
He just didn't want us in the school parking lot, and I was like, "We are not." I was turning around. I was popping a Ubi, as you like to call him, a Ubi.
A Ubi to you turned a Ubi. Okay, let me go another one, Nick.
So that was my only false pullover. All the other ones were
and
kind of
and
legit.
listen, to be just the devil's advocate, you going 100 something miles.
Oh,
an
and then
hour.
they also pulled me on my bike with no license plate, and I was handcuffed on the ground for 3 hours in the cold while they were investigating Grand Theft Auto.
Have you ever been pulled over, do you think, illegally?
I don't know. No.
So
I just told you my two stories.
And
where
you
it
were
was
a danger to society going at 100.
Oh, I totally I did not. No. If I'm going a $135, sure. I totally get that I have endangered someone's life. I'm not ignorant to that fact at all. Not at all.
I'm not judging you because I
I
don't
know
have the
you're not.
greatest.
I
I don't have
know
the
you're
greatest
not, dude.
track
I know.
record either.
Oh, you don't have a squeaky clean
Nah,
record?
I'm not a
with
clean.
cops?
I'm not too clean.
No.
Okay, nearly half of Americans under the age of 30 report feeling down, depressed, or hopeless, and 24% have considered self-harm. Are you in that 25%? Number one.
No self-harm. No, not at all.
Feel
but
depressed, down.
when I'm like, oh, how the fuck am I going to buy a house when my mom and dad Or my grandma bought a house with a sack of berries and a handshake.
Okay.
How am I supposed to buy a house? It's going to be hard. I'm not saying I can't, but that does.
A lot of people do buy houses. Young people,
I know.
They plan better.
Okay, but if you don't know that the housing market is extremely challenging for everyone right now.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
how did I buy? I was a
don't
criminal.
diminish me on that one right now.
Who?
So don't diminish what I'm thinking.
No, I'm
on
not
that
diminishing. Listen, I think there's ways to get out of that, though. I think there's ways you can. Yes, the housing market's crazy. Yes, it's
I'm
hard
not saying
for young
it's
people,
impossible at all.
But you got a good job. You could start doing things a little bit different.
I did it.
And you could maybe advance, make money, hustle, do things, save money, a lot of things, and get your priorities a little bit in that right order. And I don't know. I'm just giving you options that can be done. I'm not saying it's not rough. I think it's very rough. You just happen to be a little bit more intelligent than most.
You think right now you could go out and just buy a house as easy as, you could have
Me?
20 years ago?
Or
you.
What do you mean? By, if you have money, you can. Do I have that kind of money? No.
Okay.
Did I have that kind of money? Yes.
Doesn't count.
I get it.
And then again, it just makes my proof that back then it's way easier to buy a house.
I robbed my money, Nick.
Cool. Really? Did you?
I'm trying to get you to answer a question of, do you feel depressed, hopeless, or feeling down?
No.
No. So none of that last thing, you don't feel any of that, you don't care about that.
But I think that when people think, I don't know if that's was that an economy question, or was that like a mental state question?
Yeah, it's in general.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm totally fine on that end.
Well, I work with you a lot, so I'm going to call bullshit. I mean, I think you get depression like we all do. I think you get down on yourself, or me, or whatever, whoever. You get, you're pissed at your job, you're pissed at life, pissed at your home life. I don't know, whatever it is.
I
pissed at Morty.
I got a title for this one already.
Go ahead. Oh,
let's go.
I got it. Okay, I hear you, man. I want to know how Gen Z, you're a Gen Zer, how Gen Z is channeling their fears and passions.
Am I? Is that the...
Yeah, you're a Gen Z.
I don't know.
Anybody, that age group. How do you, as a Gen Z person, channel your fear or your passion to save America? Or am I talking to a guy who don't give a fuck and just don't care about America or other people? But you do.
Is it my job to save America?
Absolutely.
How?
If our forefathers and my parents didn't fight for this country, we would not be American. We'd be maybe enslaved. We would literally be in maybe concentration camps.
Maybe I need a war going on.
No, we have those at all times.
That I think is going to affect me. I don't think any of these wars are really.
Yeah, but how do you
come
know
over
they
here
won't
and
affect
make me
you, Nate?
speak a different language?
Well, listen, there hasn't been a war of that magnitude.
So my brain just can't wrap around that.
Okay, so
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm being honest. Everything I'm saying is.
Do you think there's anything that can happen that you would turn around and become Americanized and say, listen, I care about this country so much, I want to pick up a gun, I want to join the military, and I want to fight for this country?
No. I mean, maybe if they were invading us, but
it's too late then. Yeah. But obviously, you're not understanding. I guess prevention is better than the actual cure. Preventing something before getting a cure for it is a lot better.
I feel like I would be working for an oil company and not like saving.
Well, there won't be an oil company you can work for.
Yeah. Well, prevention wise, I think I feel like I just work for an oil company and not like a prevention.
I don't know if you're opening the eyes to the older people who listen to this show, or just
they're
thinking you're being
I'm retarded.
No, they're probably thinking either he's fucking around, or they're thinking, wow, these young people don't care. Because I remember this time I was not only in the military, but I remember in school and history where we have to get under desks because they thought there was going to be a nuclear war.
I also grew up in a private Catholic school where this is not a topic. These were not topics.
Yeah, they made you do YMCA on a stage in a Catholic school. Listen, guys, I got to ask this question. It's got to go there, and I don't care.
We had a little conversation after we went to the Sammy Hagar concert, where I brought up that rock and roll and the other music, hip hop and
disco.
70s disco for sure. But at first it was rock and roll a little bit. Was a little gay, and that's I have no problem with that at all. I had a problem
What he was
with
saying, people,
was
and
that the generation. I don't know.
I got to say this. What Nick was saying had a good point, and here's why. My generation should not be pissed about what goes on and what books are in schools and stuff of that nature, because my generation, honestly,
basically they're all, your generation's all like, the gay agenda is happening now, and I was kind of like,
and you guys don't care, which is great. I don't care.
The gay agenda
you know that.
definitely
Everybody knows
started
that.
in like this early 60s.
Well,
for sure.
I would say maybe the 70s, but okay. What Nick was
But you
saying
kinda agree
is,
with that.
well, I do to a degree. Here's what Nick was saying, and I do agree with it. If you got people my age today saying, "Oh, these kids, it's the gay agenda, trans agenda," they're bullshit, because we had it. Meaning, my generation with disco. If you looked at some of the videos in these, we did this, and I want you guys to do this. Now, everybody I asked, you remember YMCA? Oh, they're all gay. Oh, yes, they are gay. Well, the videos that were put on were not only gay, very openly gay, very, and which, again, everybody knows on this channel, I am a big supporter. I am open. I don't care. I think it's great. I think people should do whatever they want. I really do. I'm very, very pro everything. And, but my point here, we were discussing all of this, and then Nick told me, wait a minute,
Well,
Larry.
this was way beforehand. Before I even saw the music video of
Right.
YMCA.
I asked Nick,
He goes, "Have you heard of the YMCA song?" I go, "Oh, of course I've heard of it. I had a whole freak out on stage in kindergarten because I didn't want to perform it because I thought I looked like an idiot." And he goes, "Well, I mean, didn't you see the music video?" I was like, "I've never even imagined a music video or even the artist. I thought it was like the birthday song and like no one knew who wrote it. I didn't even think about that at all." You blew my mind.
Well, what blew my mind, people, is listen, and I'm all for him. Listen, the song is great. I mean, you see President Trump dancing to it, in the White House dancing it, and people dancing it all over the world. What shocked me was Nick went to a Catholic school. Hear me out. Catholic schools were known as havens for priests who abused people, period. They denied it, and they pumped it, and they were abusing. I was abused. They were abusing people left and right in the schools, in the Catholic Church and the whole work. I mean, everybody knows. If you're too young to remember, just Google Catholic Church sex scandals. That's all you got to do. Well, Nick
the transfers. How many times?
and that's
the
what they
priest
used to
was
do.
Transferred.
They would transfer a priest and not even report him, and he'd be getting
They
away
just
with it.
transfer to another
school with all these young kids.
Yeah.
Well, Nick's school, Mr. Catholic school. What school did you go? Let's give him a shout out.
I went to, when the YMCA happened, I went to Our Lady of Sorrows.
Sorrow for sure. Our Lady of Sorrow, a nice school. Our Lady of Sorrow. You had a priest who was a pedophile, and I would bet on it.
We did have one that was transferred.
Okay. The priest that was approving YMCA, knowing the video was the gayest thing on the market, they were in front of ramrods in Greenwich Village.
I was like,
New
why
York.
are you dressing me up like an Indian?
Yeah. This school literally put these young kids on stage singing this. Now, again, do I think they were being open as a school and saying, oh, let's teach them this? And no. Then they go off and tell you how it's a sin and you're going to hell.
They were like, you need to mature, stop crying, and get on stage. I was like,
and understand that being abused
stupid.
is okay, because I'm telling you, it blows my mind that they're such hypocrites. Listen, I am all for them doing the YMCA. So if they truly believe in, hey, I believe in it. I have no problem with it. Listen, personally, I have no problem. I would hire a band, and if they played it, have fun and drink. They're great. I mean, it's. Listen, I love crazy shit, and I love anything. But I'm not a hypocrite by saying afterwards, okay, let's pass a law that all gay people should die.
Then they made us do Macho Man.
Huh?
I said, then they made us do Macho Man.
Oh, my God. Now you got
how
about in the Navy?
You
Sail the 7 seas in the Navy.
Which was marketed to the Navy, wasn't it? Didn't the Navy hire them?
Yes. That was on posters. So, listen, if our generation wasn't confusing the heck out of people, because then they're saying on another hand, in the Navy, first of all, back then, if you went in the Navy or the Coast
That's
Guard
what's
like
crazy.
I did, you got kicked out if you were gay.
But they had a whole gay, like a legitimately
gay band,
very
gay video,
gay video, gay promoting, and they used it.
One
to
of the
promote
guys was in the Navy.
That's awesome.
No, that's hypocrites. That's people that are really.
I was
confused.
making a point. We were.
I listen, and as everybody knows, I am so open about everything. Someday, we have to have a show with entertainers who did those things and then realized later in life that they were
hired
manipulated.
By the French.
Right, manipulated. They were manipulated to do stuff that they were all gay and they were outwardly gay. But did they know that they were, using that to help priests?
Let's get physical.
Oh, that's
physical.
Olivia Newton-John. I like it. That's just out of shape. That was
It
about.
was a little gay. The
Why?
music
Because the
video
guys were
was
good
a little
looking.
gay.
Listen, when I did videos when I do a video, I'm good looking. So if I took my shirt off, that's not gay. That's me.
All I'm saying is the videos were basically the
I'm
same.
only kidding everybody.
As the videos that are going on today, and every old person has a problem with music videos today because they're too sexual.
Yeah.
Or they're
too violent.
Or they're indoctrinating kids. And it's the same shit that was going on in the 70s. And it blew my mind when we were talking about it because I never watched 70s music videos. I didn't know that's how that was.
Well, let me explain.
I was like, wow, this is literally on the same page.
Listen, Nick isn't wrong. If you look at rock and roll, they're butt to butt or they're
dry humping each
they're
other.
dry
on
humping
stage.
each other, singing, and then some bands Kiss. They'd put makeup on their face and they'd wear leotards with their junk hanging out.
Like,
or,
but they got bitches. It's like, okay, like
yeah, so did I. But my point being is, listen, I think looking back, everybody my age can say, wait a minute, he has got a little bit of a point. Now, I told Nick though, when his generation gets to be my age, they're going to look back and say, wait a minute, how about hip hop? Oh, no, we're telling it like it is. I'm all for hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Hip hop, they grab their cocks, they, pants down to your ass. I don't care.
Oh, you're talking about like gangster rap.
Any rap. It's
Yeah,
not just gangsta, a lot of rap. I mean,
it was funny.
When you look at that,
they were literally they're telling you to suck their dick.
I think 50 years ago, 50 years from now, they're going to look back and say, look at these guys. Man, you don't think they were gay? Look at you grabbing their junk. They're telling you to suck their penis.
In case anyone's getting a little confused, this is not us being like, oh, gay. Oh, you can't make things gay. This is us being like, the older generation needs to like be like, okay, well, our media was kind of the same.
Well,
it's all
I think
okay.
what Nick is trying to say, listen, man, anybody who knows me, I am so, I don't know. Nobody can even figure me out. And my friends know that. And when they ask me, they say, what's your opinion? I said, you don't want to know my opinion. You do want to know my opinion. And here is my opinion, as I tell it to everybody. I am a true, I guess, libertarian in the sense that socially, whether it's same sex, opposite sex, triple sex, multiple marriages, drugs, I am very socially liberal, meaning what I do in this house is my business, long as I'm not hurting somebody underage or doing something to harm somebody in a negative way, luring them in here and like tying them up. Or
From
something.
Rhode Island, 12.
Yeah, Shane Gillis is a great comedian, man. I gotta have him on.
Ew.
I gotta get Shane Gillis.
Ew.
Shane Gillis is one of the funniest comedians in the world. I'm very socially liberal. Period. End of story. I could care less. Nothing bothers me that way. I am fiscally conservative, meaning I don't believe in everybody getting a handout. I believe in getting a hand up. If you run into problems, you need unemployment to get yourself by. You need education. You need some. Hey, listen, help. And there is organizations. There's a lot of people who do that. So, but I'm not one that just says that's the government. Let everybody pay for you being a lazy prick.
I don't agree with that either. No.
So I am a social liberal, fiscal conservative. That puts me as a libertarian. Republicans say they're, oh, well, we're like that. No, you're not. You're not middle of the road. You believe that, if God said it shouldn't happen, stop abortion. Where did that come in the Constitution? So it's not there. You know what I mean? They didn't think about that in 1776, and
they were shoving wires up there.
Well, they didn't even have wires back then. What are you kidding me?
Talking about CoHangers.
Again,
it's a co-hanger joke.
Yeah, I get you. I get the joke, but they didn't even have them back there. They were sticking a stick up there or whatever. Who knows what they're doing? I'm sorry I said that. Listen, Nick got me off on a really bad tangent.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I started talking about my Catholic school.
Listen, I will tell you something, people. I am all for everybody to do what they want.
If you want to get back to the point, we can get back to the point is that I really don't have an opinion
about anything.
This because I went to a Catholic school, whereas if they heard you talking about this, they cut it off immediately.
Are you talking about politics?
Yeah, you cannot talk about politics at a private Catholic school.
Did they talk about the president? Did they?
No, we literally couldn't talk about Donald Trump or
But was he the president when you were in school?
2016. He was running
7 years ago. You were
Hillary
19.
Trump.
Were you in high school?
I was just turned 18, and I was
in
my senior year. Yeah,
when Donald Trump was elected president.
Before, yeah.
So you remember the campaign?
Yeah, and we couldn't talk about that. There's not a chance in hell you were able to talk about that. No.
Wow.
That's not what you were paying to be there for.
They were paying them to give you education on reading, writing?
I remember being like, guys.
Wow, they really taught you a lot about emails and writing.
Oh, no, they didn't. There was no email class there.
Well, or writing?
Yeah. And I literally got shut down when I was like, hey, you guys are all laughing at Donald Trump, and I bet you he's going to slide by everyone because you guys all think he's a joke.
Did you really call that?
I totally did. And then someone turned around and were like, how can you say he's going to be the next president? I was like, I'm not voting for him, but I was like, I think everyone's taking him as a joke, and he's a maniac, and he's going to slide by. And they were like, you want to go to the office? And I was like, okay.
What? Well, here's what boggles my mind.
They also took my wallet and all my money in it. I was like,
Who did?
They was like, you cannot do that. And he was like, I can write it in the handbook right now. It's like,
the school?
Yeah, they took my wallet and kept my wallet.
Our Lady of Sorrow.
No, this was Bishop DeBerg High School.
Okay, Bishop what?
Bishop DeBerg High
Bishop
School.
DeBerg High School, St. Louis. Shame on you. You should be shut down. Shame on you.
They're struggling, that's for sure. Our Lady of Sorrow is a shutdown.
Is it shut down now?
Oh, private Catholic schools are going down the drain, dude. I don't know about it anymore now that the public schools are letting all that stuff happen that people are, freaking out about, the parents. The books being removed and the teaching of different sexes and stuff. So I don't know about that. But that's why I feel like I don't know. I never had a debate class where we learned about politics.
Well, let me give you a little number. Let's get back to the polls, just like since your school doesn't understand about polls. Only about 1 in 4 young adults approve of president handling the economy. 22% handling the inflation. 38% approve of his handling of race relations. 37% of the war in Ukraine. 27% of gun violence. That's terrible numbers.
Here we go. How do I get my groceries down? Where do I start there? Let's start right there.
How do you what?
How do I get my groceries down?
The price of groceries.
Yeah, how do I... Let's start there.
Okay, that's a great thing. You think it comes from... Who do you think sets the prices?
Well, the prices keep going up because...
But who sets the price of a product?
Well, I think the farmers have to push
it goes
their
by
price
the
up.
companies that buy the product, correct? It
And
puts it
then
on the
if you
shelf.
go further, it's the person selling the product to that company to put the product on the shelf.
Right. So it's the economy, it's the people. It's the what the economy or the people could afford or what they think it's worth. If you had a product that was priced, if a loaf of bread was $50, you think they would sell any loaves of bread? No. So they know, and they do their studies on what's a price point that we think we can make money and sell enough.
Yeah,
now, obviously, that's just economics. Now, we're going to go into economics for a second. How do you set economics? What can bring the price?
You know that it's never going to go down. They're all going to be people are surviving right now, so we're never going to put it back down to where it was.
And I blame, personally, obviously, a lot of people will say, well, if you lower the tax of companies, they won't. Wait, let's say you did.
Then they're going to be like, we're making way more money now.
That's what I think.
They're already buying the shit.
It's a problem. That's the problem. You can't get once a company starts making money and they know they can sell it.
And that's how I feel, is that you just can't.
Well, what do you do?
What am I going to do about it?
Well, I'll tell you what.
What am I going to do to get my groceries down?
Well,
right? What am I going to do?
You could try to find the reason. If you totally believe that, then maybe we need a revamp of the system. Maybe companies need to be regulated on what they could charge for a product. In other words, somebody has to come in and say, you know what? Yeah, I get it.
But then you can break it down to like...
But do you want that? That's not a free society then.
But then
do you want a free society?
But then you can break it down to like, they keep raising gas prices and our tractors take more gas and now our, potatoes are more expensive.
Well, it's all true too.
Yeah.
It's all true. But you have to look at that and say, if you don't think anything can be changed and you think you're in a socialist country or you think you're a communism sets the price, nobody can change it, and that's the end of the deal. Do you want that, or do you want the private industry, private company? Am I able to set the price on my cigar?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, no, I don't think that we should be like, this is how it's going to happen. No.
Okay. Then, so you think the people or the economy should regulate that, correct?
I don't get it.
You think the economy should regulate something like that, right?
Sure.
Hey, Ma, come on in. What's up? Hi, I'm going to bed. You're going to bed? Okay, we're on a show. Do you want to join us for a little bit?
I got some questions, Ma. Maybe you can square them up for me about the economy.
He wants to know how we can get the gas prices down. You don't drive anymore. Yeah, you let me pay for gas.
What about our grocery prices?
What about grocery prices? Are they going up? How do we get them down? It's
Ma, your bread is like $7.
Yeah. We're talking about your bread being $7. Look, that's not an answer, Ma. You have to teach this young
she's on
man.
my page.
I'm in the middle of this. How about you just go to bed? I will go it after it and lock up. I got it all, Ma. No, I'll do it. I don't want you. Leave the light on so you can get in there. I'll be done, and then I will go put the lights out. All right, love you, Ma.
Good night.
There you go.
Good night, Ma.
Good night, Ma.
I'll see you tomorrow.
There's Mom, everybody. That's the one who runs the house. And she didn't know what to do with the economy as well. She's also 91, and she remembers.
I don't think you do either. Larry.
She remembers World War II. I think I do have some solution. They have economists. They have economists.
I was about to dig deep right there.
Listen,
then go vote on it.
Well, they have economists. They have economists who regulate prices, they regulate money, regulate loans, and it all trickles down. I can get too deep on a show to have people understand it. But if you lowered taxes, you could lower import-export prices. Are we paying too much to get stuff from another country on import-export taxes? That's what Donald Trump fought against, and he's right about that. Why should we let companies move to Mexico and then sell their products in America and not get taxed with bringing them back in the country? It's called the tariff. Well, we should, and we do, and that stopped
You
companies.
have a great friend that's doing it right now.
So, I have great friends that do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And all these guys are part of the economy, and they part of ways in their industry.
So you think that they should move, they should be voting on getting their taxes down on the reason they moved over there, just so they can come back and...
Oh, absolutely, because labor is cheaper. You go to another country, because
we
know many of them, friends who built warehouses over there.
That goes back to the same point as like them stepping in and saying you have to stop your cigar price at
No, they do. The government already steps in. I get charged.
Well, they didn't for gloves. They let gloves go gouge through the roof.
Yeah, of course they did, because there was an emergency. That's a whole different situation during COVID. You're talking about economy. I pay uncrazy taxes to bring one cigar into this country. Every cigar that I bring into this country, I have to pay 40 cents. Every cigar. to the government. 40 cents.
You
One
signed up
box
for
is
that.
20 cigars. How much is 20 times 4?
What are you saying?
$8 I pay for a box of cigars to come into this country. $8.
That
So they're not free for me.
Doesn't shock me.
My point is the government puts what they call a tariff on it. Well, they do that with every product. Now, they can put too much on it, and then I don't buy them. No, people don't buy them to smoke them and everything else, and then that company has to go out of business, and then jobs are lost, and people don't vote. There's so many tentacles to the economy and economics, and I know it, and I get into it a little bit, but until young people, there are a lot of young people who do go to college.
If you can't help it, how can we help it?
What do you mean I can't? I can help it.
Why aren't you doing it?
I could hire a lobbyist. They do. Companies like Oliva spends a lot of money on a lobbyist to lobby for
You
prices.
think you're making a difference getting your cigar taxes down? Do you think you're making a difference actively?
Absolutely.
How?
Why? Because when the price comes down, I could lower the price of cigars.
This is
More
all
people
ifs.
smoke
These are all
them.
ifs. This isn't happening.
No, yes, it does. If Oliva did not have,
If.
hold on, no, right now, no if. If Oliva lobbyist lobbied so the taxes aren't
These are
$10.
ifs.
No, it's not if. It happened. What's an if about that? What's an if?
So you're actively helping.
Absolutely. Well, I am. The industry is. The cigar industry is. Because I'm in business hiring you, correct?
Yeah.
If I don't have the cigars, you can't be hired, correct?
Sure.
Or whoever we hire, correct? Mm-hmm. So I'm helping the economy by putting people to work and then people vote and they keep people in office. If I can't hire people, I got to fire everybody because we don't make it. That hurts the economy, correct? That hurts everybody. Everybody gets hurt. Government blew it because they had so much tax on that cigar, we couldn't stay in business.
But you're not going out being like, let's lower the taxes.
Oh, no.
That's
The
what I'm
industry
saying.
is. I'm supporting what we do with Oliva because they hire lobbyists to go on our behalf to Congress and lobby.
And is it working?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are you still paying 40 cents?
Because that's what is the right now. That's the rate that is agreeable that
So
we
it's
can
not
still
working?
stay in business.
Well, you're pissed, so it's not working.
I'm just want to make taxes more, so we got to hire more people. If we had lower tax, we could lower the price of cigar. More people could smoke them. We got to hire more people.
So it's not working.
No, it is working to a degree. Nothing is a perfect system.
Okay, thank you.
Now, if Oliva wasn't there with the lobbyists and other companies, taxes might go to $1 a cigar, and then we're all out of business. And then what? So is it working? Am I helping? Yes. As a businessman, I'm helping. You know, I learned business from guys like the two guests we had on our show, Laz and Cha-Cha. And when we talk about business like we did tonight, and we talk about a lot of different ways, and Gary was there. And so we had a lot of very, very smart business people who were talking about different various things we do. Now, and I get it. I totally get it. And there are a lot of young people out there, and I want to thank you guys who are listening and the young people who do go to college and do understand economics and do get in there and vote. And you are young or Republican or Democrat or whatever, you're a libertarian. I personally believe that we need a third party. I think that's money into the
If you have two sides, you're going to fight the whole time, and I think that's it.
yeah, what happens?
that's the goal,
What happens
you know?
is the money is controlling everything, and I think people should. But then again, you know, the system's not perfect. So guys like I used to control that by paying people off and doing things and rigging things and doing everything I can go on and on about.
Thank you. It boils down.
I
where you
didn't
just-
say it's not going to happen. That happens in a perfect system. That happened going back to the Roman days.
Yeah.
So
okay.
my point though is if you didn't try, it would get worse. We would be a socialist country, Nick. Do you want Russia?
I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
Well, if more people thought like you and did what you do, it would be. Because what would happen then is there
Then
would,
maybe I'd get involved. I don't know.
well, it's too late then. That's the problem. My point, Nick, is if we had the government running everything, said, okay, Larry, you made $50 today.
I didn't say they should run everything.
Right, but if you don't
Okay.
vote, if you don't keep the democracy going, if you don't keep our way of living going, it will go that way. I mean, we're half socialist anyway.
I doubt me.
Did you know that?
I doubt me not voting is going to affect.
Oh, absolutely.
anything.
See, what you're thinking is small because one person does matter. You know, they say all things start with one step or a little push forward. Nick, look at it this way: United States is already socialist. It's got part socialist programs. Social Security is a social program. We all put into it, and people take it out and give it to everybody.
You think I'm going to get Social Security when I'm 65, or it's going to be all dried up like a well?
I don't know. They've been saying it's going to be dried up since already, and it's not, and nothing has changed. Just like they say climate change was going to the world. I remember Y2K was going to end the world. Then I remember
acid rain was going to destroy the
exactly.
farms.
I heard that,
and now the solar caps are going to.
I heard the Keys were going to be underwater by 2000, and they're going strong. And I'm going to go there for a vacation someday soon. So my point is, they say a lot of things, and they try to alarm people, and they do a lot of things. Do I believe? I don't know. There's arguments on both sides of that. Do I think we're becoming more of a haves and have-not society? Yes. That's scary. We are having the rich and the poor, and there's no more middle class. And that's who gets burned. That's when it becomes a Chile or a Brazil or a South American country that's under those kind of... They claim to be democratic, but the people don't have a say. And when the people don't have a say, eventually they uprise and they have what they call a coup. And the coup is a takeover of the government, and they try something else. But usually they're corrupt too.
Do you think that I have enough time to watch the news as much as your brother watches the news and study up on all this?
I don't watch it either.
So why do you want me behind a poll booth?
Because I want you to get at least a little bit educated on topics that matter to you. If pot matters to you, if the price of gas matters, if food prices... Maybe you could read an article or two. You're
not Laz or Chacha.
I'm not. I'm speaking pretty loud.
Yeah.
Maybe if you cared about one or two issues and they meant something to you, and you did a little bit of research.
When you do this stuff.
A little bit of research. What? Now.
Yeah, you're developing a habit to just turn.
No. What has happened is.
Completely sideways.
No. It's the chairs roll. We don't have perm. We need a couch.
Developing a bad habit to where you've just been turning sideways on these
podcasts.
Well,
that's what I do.
Okay,
it's not a habit.
You go,
You are developing a bad habit by not caring. And I want you to care more about what goes on.
I don't want to go and waste time in a fucking long line. I don't want to do that.
If we were a socialist country and you had to wait in long lines for...
These are all ifs.
No,
ifs
Nick,
don't bother
it wasn't
me.
an if. This happened in this country when they had bread lines and they had food lines.
I wasn't born in the Great Depression.
No, I wasn't either.
Okay.
But I know about it because I understand history. You know the saying?
A young history guy's always going to turn
No,
Republican.
what they say is if you don't understand history, you will repeat it. And we don't want to repeat that kind of history. I hope not. We don't want dictators to run the world.
So how long do you think America's going to last?
That's a great question. It really is. A lot of
countries fall.
Oh, absolutely.
I think all of them fall.
Matter of fact, yes. Every era, whether it's the Romans, whether it's the Huns, whatever era, it could be the Vikings, it could be, they all gain power, become enthralled in power, and lose it somehow. Because things change, things evolve. If you don't evolve with it, like business, you get eaten up. Companies who have never evolved, like Radio Shack or Blockbuster. You wouldn't know these companies.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they don't evolve. But now you take Netflix.
You said I don't know what Blockbuster and Radio Shack is?
Okay. How about...
Who do you think I am?
Well, I don't know. I learned a lot today. Now, you take Netflix. Yeah. Netflix was smart. Netflix was a DVD. They would Netflix give you...
So dumb. Yeah.
They would send you a DVD in the mail.
Yeah.
When you had a program, you got 2 a week or 2, whatever it was. It was crazy. Now they evolved to be a mega streaming platform, and they evolved. Radio Shack didn't evolve.
They're not doing so hot right now, Netflix.
I don't know what they're doing personally. But they're still around. And they're competing at least. And they're in the game, so to speak. So, there's a lot. Listen, I can get into economics too much, but this started with the poll.
What's the next poll?
Okay. Now, here's the poll question, and this is it. What do you think, or what would you do right now if it meant your life?
This isn't a poll question. You're just on the top of your head.
You're right.
You're not reading a fucking poll question.
You're right. But I'm giving you one.
All right.
What would you do if they said you will die in a month or a year or 5 years? You're dying in 5 years if you don't get the price of gas down to $1.50. What would you do?
That's not a poll question. Okay,
Well, forget the poll then. I'm asking you that right now.
Poll.
What would you do?
What's the other poll option?
There's no
I need
poll.
an A and a B.
No, there's no A and B.
So this is not a poll.
What would you do? It's a what?
Well, I don't know.
So you would just
I'd be like, Larry,
curl
help
up in a
me.
ball and party and die?
What do you want me to do?
I'm
You start
asking.
reading about it?
I think you would be joining a group or a bunch of people who have a plan in place to change that gas price so we all live.
Okay, I'll do that. Sure. If you put my life on it, yeah, I'll go read it.
What I just learned is you are a big follower. You're a zero leadership.
Follower?
You're a
What
follower.
am I following?
You're not a leader. To become a leader, you have to look for ways and learn about ways and then lead your age group to a way of maybe they use YouTube.
Larry,
maybe they use.
I have never been taught politics.
It's not politics. It's called survival.
No, these are made up
And Nick,
situations
and
on
the
politics.
excuse of being never taught politics.
I don't want to get into them. It doesn't interest me. It doesn't. Sorry.
But GTA does.
Sorry.
But GTA
doesn't
does.
fucking interest me.
Does GTA?
Cool, yes. Sorry, politics don't fucking interest me. The most interesting thing about fucking politics is watching some maniac call another guy's fucking wife a dog, dude. And telling
Ted
someone
Cruz,
he's
your
fucking,
wife's a dog.
telling Ron Paul he's ugly. Do I think he should be running the country? No. But it's the most fucking entertaining thing that has ever happened to me in this.
So it's kind of funny. Ted wife, your wife's a dog.
My wife's a dog. Everybody knows. She's a dog. I didn't say it. Oh, look, she's
guys.
crying.
These are inside jokes.
Oh, look,
that
she's crying.
we watch certain things with. Listen, let me recommend it. We're going to be closing, Nick, because I learned a little bit about you. We're going to have a long talk off air.
Okay, let's do it on air.
No,
let's keep going. You want to have a 3-hour
we're learning
podcast?
it off air.
Let's run a 3-hour podcast.
No, we're not. I want everybody to do this. I want you to go to YouTube. I want you to go to Shane Gillis and listen to his 47-minute stand-up in front of a small audience. You will crack up. All I'm going to say is you will crack up and you will probably understand what we talk about. Just check him out, Shane Gillis. He is just amazing the way he explained Trump and the way he explains a lot of things. I think he's
our great leader.
we're not going that way, he says. We're not looking for that. Has time passed enough where we could call Donald Trump funny? I think it has.
Hilarious. It's hilarious.
But anyway, that's even in the inside joke. Nick, I'm going to really tell this audience, we're going to have a talk sometime soon again. And I want you to hopefully at least, I really want to pay for you, to teach you geography, teach you politics or political stuff, political science. Because I feel the world's in a bad shape if the guys are all like you. Well, that's not I work hard so my grandkids and you and young people can, maybe
I need to pump out a kid. Maybe that's
maybe you do. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Not right now.
No. Not
but
with
maybe
the way.
not. I'm just being realistic.
Maybe not.
I need to pump out a kid.
Or maybe not.
I mean, there's dumber people that have pumped out kids.
That's another poll we're putting up. Should Nick have a kid? Let's hear that poll.
I'm doing pretty good with that one over there.
Yeah, it's a dog. It doesn't talk back.
He has
it doesn't
panic
grow
attacks.
up. Yeah,
he breaks out in hives.
Morty, that's our Morty, everybody. If you can see Morty, he's our mascot.
Damn, he's just fucking dead over there.
I love Morty, man. I think Morty knows more about politics than you.
Oh, Morty's a genius, dude.
Yeah, because we
Morty's a
leave
genius.
the TV on and we
Yeah.
leave news stations on when we're gone.
He knows what's underneath the sea.
No,
he knows about sea.
You know what he does? He
depths
comes
and
back
everything.
after we leave. He goes, "Did you see that show on Trump?"
He's like, hey, do you guys want a whole lesson of what I just learned?
Yeah,
Like,
Trump
tell me,
was on.
buddy.
Did you see that court case?
Tell me, buddy. He's like, I can tell you everything that's under the sea. I've learned about sonar and how they worked and how it
watches
works.
all these
He said, do you
shows.
want to know how sonar works? You want to strike a deal? I'm like, dude, chill out. Get away from me.
I think on that note, Nick, I think you're going to hit the button. And I'm going to tell people, please get educated a little bit on what's going on in this world, because without your educating and without young people getting involved, we're in trouble.
Oh, she's crying.
Nick, wow. All right, everybody.
I don't want to end
Please
this one.
stay safe.
I'm liking this one.
Stay safe. Please educate
You didn't
Nick.
even ask if
I'm going
I
to
had
start a
anything to
GoFundMe.
say.
I'm going to start a GoFundMe for you to at least get educated. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Please stay safe. And let me know what you think of Nick's politics. Email us. Comment. I want to hear him. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe.